Hello everyone. Let's practice IELTS Academic Reading Test 9. Let's start with Section 1. Section 1. A Chronicle of Timekeeping. Let's start with questions 1 to 4. Which paragraph contains the following information? Write the correct letter A to E in the boxes 1 to 4 on your answer sheet. Question 1. A device based on the flow of water. Alright, let's check the paragraph. We go to paragraph B and it says, the Greek introduced water clocks or clepsydra which used a steady flow of water to measure intervals. The answer here is para B. Next question 2. The influence of religious practice on timekeeping. Now get into paragraph C. Let's check the line. Medieval Europe saw the rise of mechanical clocks in monasteries where regulating prayers times was vital. See that prayers time, that's religious activity. So clearly timekeeping here is influenced by religion. So this line is taken from the para C. Next question. The contribution of Chinese innovation. Let's check again back to the para B. As I am finding the answer, it says the Chinese Xu Sheng's engineering genius constructed astronomical clocks with gear-driven escapement. So that's Chinese innovation we are talking about. So the answer here is para B. Next question 4. The use of time measurement for sea travel. Now get into the para D. Check this line. The British clockmaker John Harrison produced a marine chronometer accurate enough to guide ship across oceans. That phrase, guide ship across oceans, means time measurement was used for navigation. So the correct answer here is para D. And next questions 5 to 8. Match each event with the correct nationality. Write the correct letter A to D in the boxes. Let's check all the matching events carefully. Question 5. Invention of sundials. In the passage we can see the Egyptians, observing the periodic flooding of the Nile, developed sundials around 1500 BCE, relying on the shadows movement to divide daylight into 12 parts. So the answer here is D. Egyptian. The next question 6. Creation of marine chronometer. In the passage we can see that the British clockmaker John Harrison produced a marine chronometer. So the answer here is option D, British. And the next question 7. Development of water clocks. The Greeks introduced water clocks or clepsydra. So the answer here is A, Greek. And the next question 8. Gear-driven astronomical clocks. The Chinese constructed astronomical clocks with gear-driven escapement. So the answer here is option C. Next questions 9 to 13. Label the diagram below. Choose no more than 2 words from the passage for each answer. Let's look at the diagram. The top vessel holds water that flows down. It's a source container used a steady flow of water. So the answer here is upper container. And the next question 10. The water flows steadily through a small opening. This is a hole or spout. So the answer here is hole or spout. The next question 11. Time intervals are marked on a scale to measure how much water has passed. So the answer here is calibrated scale. And the next question 12. This is where the water collects after flowing down. So the answer here is lower vessel. The next question 13. A floating pointer raises with the water level to mark elapsed time. So the answer here is pointer or float. The next question 14 to 15. Sentence completion. Question 14. The Egyptian sundial divided daylight into. The Egyptian sundial divided daylight into 12 parts. So the missing word here is 12 parts. And the next question 15. The atomic clock operates using dash vibrations. In the passage we can see that the atomic clock using silicium vibrations achieved accuracy to within a billionth of a second. So the answer here is silicium vibration. Now let's move to the passage 2. Air traffic control in USA. We will read carefully and find each answer as we go. Next question 16 to 22. Do the following statements agree with the information in the passage? Write true, false or not given. Question 16. Air traffic control began before the invention of radio communication. Get into the paragraph A. Air traffic control began in the 1930s when pilots used radio communications to share flight positions. That means it started after radio was invented. So the answer here is false. The next question 17. The FAA was created to supervise flight safety. Check again in the para A. The Federal Aviation of Administration emerged to regulate routes and ensure safety. It clearly says ensure safety. So the answer here is true. The next question 18. Controllers depend solely on computers. Now let's check paragraph C. Contrary to public belief, automation has not replaced human judgment, so controllers still make the final decisions. So the answer here is false. The next question 19. Aircraft transponders send altitude and speed information. Paragraph B says planes send transponder signals to identify altitude, speed and location. That's directly stated, so the answer here is true. The next question 20. Controllers handle only one aircraft. Get into the paragraph C. Each controller manages multiple aircraft simultaneously. So this is clear for. The next question 21. The next gen system aims to improve environmental efficiency. Paragraph D says next gen systems use real time GPS data to reduce delays and fuel consumptions. Reducing fuel consumption means environmentally efficient. So the answer here is true. The next question 22. Fatigue among controllers have been completely eliminated. Let's check again. Fatigue and overload major safety concerns. That means fatigue still exists. So the answer here is false. Next questions 23 to 26. Complete the summary below. Choose no more than 2 words from the passage for each answer. Air traffic control in the USA started with simple dash communication among pilots. Let's check in the paragraph to find the answer. In the para A, we can see that air traffic control began in the 1930s when pilots used radio communication to share flight's position. So the answer here is radio communication. The government then established the dash to regulate aviation. The US government soon recognized the need for a national system. The Federal Aviation Administration emerged to regulate routes and ensure safety. So the answer here is Federal Aviation Administration. Dash data to guide aircraft and ensure separation. From the para B, we can say that the answer here is satellite data. The latest dash system aims to make air travel faster and more fuel efficient. Let's find the answer from the passage. The FAA continues to update technology, introducing next gen systems that use real time GPS data to reduce delays and fuel consumptions. So, the system here is next gen. Now, let's move to the last one. We will read line by line and get the answers together. Questions 27 to 30. Complete each sentence with the correct ending. A to F. Write the correct letter A to F in the boxes. Question 27. The Society for Physical Research aimed to. Let's check paragraph A. Researchers at the Society for Physical Research conducted controlled experiments involving senders and receivers. So they were testing telepathy scientifically. So the answer here is D. Exam telepathy through structured testing. Right. The next question 28. J.B. Rennie's experiment suggested. Get into the paragraph B. J.B. Rennie's studies at Duke University claimed evidence for extrasensory perceptions ESP. So the answer here is C. Evidences that telepathy is statistically reliable. Next question 29. Neuroscientific research indicates. Paragraph C says brain imaging shows that empathy, mirror neurons, and subconscious clue might simulate mind reading. That means what we think is telepathy may just be human intuition. So the answer here is a flawed interpretation of human intuition. And the next question 30. Popular culture represents telepathy as. Paragraph D mentions films and portray it has a both gift and curse, bridging human isolation. That's about human connection. Answer B. An enduring theme that explores human connection. And the next questions 31 to 37. Table completion. Now let's get into the table. I will read and fill as we find. Now let's start with late 19th century. Let's check paragraph A. Get into the passage. During the late 19th century, telepathy entered scientific inquiry. Researchers at the Society for Physical Research in London conducted controlled experiments involving senders and receivers. Some trials produced statistically significant result through replication difficult. Now, as I am finding the answer, we can see Researcher Institute is Society for Physical Research and method is sender receiver. It is already given and finding or issue statistically significant result. So here question 31 answer is Society for Physical Research and 32 answer is here statistically significant results. Next, mid 20th century. Now move to the paragraph B. Let's check again. The mid 20th century brought renewed interest through the use of genre cards, symbols like stars and waves shown to participants. J.B. Reen's studies at Duke University claimed evidence of extrasensory perception ESP, though critics argued results stemmed from methodological flaws. Here we can see all the clues. Researcher and institute J.B. Reen, method genre cards, findings and issues, methodological flaws. So here answer for 33 is J.B. Reen, 34 is genre cards and methodological flaws. Next, modern era. Now let's get it in the paragraph C. Check carefully. Modern neuroscience explains such phenomena differently. Brain imaging shows that empathy, mirror neurons, and subconscious clues might simulate mind reading. As I'm finding the answer, the keys are clear. Research Institute neuroscientist, method, brain imaging, findings already given, ESP. So here answer for 36 is neuroscientist and answer for 37 is. Next questions 38 to 40. Choose the correct letter A, B, C or D. Question 38. What was the main criticism of Rein's experiment? Check paragraph B. Critics argued results stemmed for methodological flaws. So here option C is correct. And the next question 39. What is the focus of modern research on telepathy? Paragraph C says brain imaging shows that empathy, mirror neurons and subconscious clues might simulate mind reading. So it focusing on brain mechanism. So the answer here is option B, linking telepathy to brain mechanisms. The next question 40. The author's attitude towards telepathy can best be described as. Finally, paragraph D says whether genuine or imaginated. Its studies continues to question the limits of perception. This shows the author is open-minded but not fully convinced. So the answer here is option B, neutral about. And thanks for watching. Follow us